Welcome back to yet another map video where we take a look at the best maps I found and created, so let's get started. This first map shows us the African lion's current and historic range. Every year around 600 wild lions are killed. Making things worse, over the past decades these predators have lost 94% of their historic range. 2000 years ago, more than 1 million lions roamed the earth. That means in 2000 years we have lost 98% of lions. That is crazy. This next map shows us the tiger's current and historic range. Right now about 5,500 tigers remain in the wild. But just over a century ago, 100,000 wild tigers roamed across Asia. On the bright side, the tiger population has been growing a bit in the last decades, especially in India. But leaving that out, tigers have lost around 95% of their population in the last 100 years. Also, here's a not so fun fact: tigers kill an average of 50 to 60 people a year. Moving on with the sad stories, here's the African elephant. As this map shows, the African elephant used to live in all of Africa, even in Morocco, can you believe it? 27 million was their population, but today there's only 415,000 African elephants left. That means we have lost 98% of African elephants. I wonder what will this look like in 50 years? Bruh, literally humans are destroying every animal. We move on with elephants, this time the Asian or the Indian elephant, call it how you want. Can you believe that back in the day they used to live in Iran and most of China? Today there are fewer than 50,000 Asian elephants left in the wild, but there used to be more than 200,000. Tell me in the comments, have you ever seen an elephant with your own eyes? This next map shows us the black rhino. Black rhinos can currently be found in 12 countries in Africa, totaling an estimated 6,500 individuals. But they used to be found in half of Africa. This one is extremely bad. Can you believe that 100 years ago, around 1 million black rhinos lived on this earth? But good news is that between 2021 and 22, there was a 4% growth in black rhino populations. We move on with rhinos, this time the white rhino. White rhinos can currently be found in 5 countries in Africa, totaling an estimated 18,000 individuals. But they used to be found across most of southern Africa. Can you believe that 100 years ago, around 100,000 white rhinos lived on this earth? That means today there are 5 times less. But good news is that between 2012 and 2017 there was a 2% annual growth in white rhino populations, even though that's not much. Now let's move on. I will give you 5 seconds to guess this animal. If you did, good job. It's the giraffe and it's 4 species. Even though one species is not mentioned here, it's the white giraffe, because there only might be one white giraffe left by now. Overall, there are only about 117,000 giraffes left in the wild now, so every giraffe is important and matters. But in the early 1900s, there used to be a million. What the hell, humans, we shouldn't exist. Just compare the panda population in the 18th century and today. This is crazy sad. And now, look at the prehistoric area. Giant pandas can currently be found in 6 mountain ranges in China, totaling an estimated 2,000 individuals in the wild, or a bit less. Can you believe that 100 years ago, there were possibly more than 100,000 giant pandas living in the wild? That means there are 50 times less pandas living in this world today. But the good news is that between 2004 and 2014, there was a 17% increase in the wild giant panda population. Tell me, have you ever seen a panda? One of the most, if not the most dangerous bear in the world, the grizzly bear. Imagine if they lived in most of the states and Mexico today. So let's talk about numbers. Around 60,000 wild grizzly bears are located throughout North America, 30,000 of which are found in Alaska. But in the early 19th century, there were about 100,000 grizzly bears. They lived in much of the American West, from the Pacific Ocean to the Great Plains. Did you know that on average 2 people are killed every year by bears in North America? The American bison. They can currently be found in conservation herds across the United States, Canada and Mexico, totaling an estimated 500,000 individuals with around 30,000 in conservation herds. But can you believe that 150 years ago, around 30 to 60 million American bisons lived on this continent? But the good news is that conservation efforts have helped to increase the numbers a bit, but still we have killed most of them. We already talked about the grizzly bear, but what about the brown bear? They can currently be found in parts of North America, Europe and Asia, totaling an estimated 110,000 individuals worldwide. It is not certain and known how many brown bears used to live 100 years ago, but just by looking at this map, you can see that we have lost a lot of them. Also, the climate change plays an important role here. Tell me in the comments, do brown bears live in your country, and if you comment I will give you a heart, I promise. The woolly mammoths. The woolly mammoths once were widespread across the northern hemisphere, particularly in North America, Europe and Asia. Today, as you all may know, they have gone extinct. But at their peak, they had a population with estimates reaching around 10 million during the last ice age. Exactly, they used to live from Spain to Canada. But sadly, yeah, by about 4,000 years ago, woolly mammoths went extinct. The Dodo Bird. The Dodo Bird, once native to the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, had an estimated population in the tens of thousands before humans arrived. But they used to inhabit the lush forests of Mauritius, an environment that is now completely inhabitable for them because of the climate change. By the late 1600s, the dodo bird was driven to extinction due to hunting and habitat destruction. This was only a few decades after first humans had encountered them. So yeah, sadly, the dodo bird went extinct around 1681. If you're still here, comment "I love maps" and I'll be happy, I guess. But until then, bye bye.